Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel. And before I get into the lovely limited edition book box that has been sent to me for review by the Literary Book Club, I did just want to take a moment to say thank you so much to those of you who have reached out and asked about my friends and family back on Maui, which is the island where I grew up. It has been a truly emotional and devastating last few days, and I am sure that it will continue to be that way. There's a long road to recovery, but I believe in the strength of Maui and the community there. So thank you again for asking, and I will try to keep you a little bit more updated over on my social media accounts. But let's go ahead and dive into this lovely box, which actually really warmed my heart and was exactly the kind of read that I needed with all of the craziness that's been going on. So like I said, this is a limited edition box, so it just came in a pretty plain box with the little Literary Book Club sticker on it. So they do a quarterly subscription, and it is something that always sells out because she does beautiful editions, and the gifts that go along with those books are just so fabulous. It's a really luxe experience every quarter. The quarterly box is $74.99, and I believe the shipping is $11.95. I do have an affiliate link and a code for you for the quarterly subscription. It is Maui Noel. That'll save you $5. I do my best to post here on YouTube and over in the Nobot Nook, which is our private Facebook group, when those boxes, when they are open for subscription, because like I said, she often sells out way in advance. I think that the September box, which is going to be The Tenant of Wildville Hall, I think that is probably already sold out, but sometimes she does wind up with a few extra boxes, so stay posted, get on the wait list for that. And then she also does limited edition boxes, usually for certain holidays, but also I would say probably once a quarter. So there is one for Halloween that's coming up, which is The Haunting of Hill House, which should be pretty fantastic. So if they're not sold out, I would definitely get in on that if you like a little bit of a spooky read for that season. I know a lot of us, that's the time where we like the spookier, darker reads. Now this was a mini box, so it was a little bit smaller. It was actually priced at $54.99 plus shipping, and these limited edition boxes, these are not ones that you can use my code on, but you can still use the affiliate link if you want to help me out. So I remember that it said that there were going to just be a few gifts and not necessarily associated with the page numbers the way that the usual quarterly selections are. But let's go ahead and open it up, because I didn't really open a lot of the gifts. Just like usual, there was kind of a cheat sheet at the bottom, but I tried not to look at that. So the book for this summer mini was The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit, which I honestly had never heard of, but it was such a sweet story kind of times gone by, where like kids could run around by like the railroad tracks and make friends with like the local colorful characters, and they just had a very sweet heart, very sweet intentions in terms of wanting to help those in their community that they came across, whether they were foreigners. There was a little some antiquated sort of stereotypes in there that I had to sort of acknowledge and move past, which we won't dwell on too much, but let's go ahead and talk about the items that came in the box, which I think that there were a total of 5 essentially, but there were some extra little swag gifts as well, like this little nice sticker that says "No rain, no flowers," because Katie, the woman behind this amazing box, is not just a book lover, but she is a talented artist. So she does some really cool things through her other company, the Wildflower Paper Company. So that's pretty cool. And then of course we just had, that's so where you can find them over on social media. So let me go ahead and just read to you the little blurb on the back about this, and this is one of the mint editions. I think we got a Robert Louis Stevenson mint edition as well in a past box. So it says, accused of treason, a father is suddenly taken from his home, forcing a family to make drastic changes in his absence. The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit is an against all odds tale illustrating the faith and resilience of 3 young siblings navigating the harsh reality of the cold world. So like I said, it was a real feel-good story, and it was really about helping other people and just the innocence and sweetness of children. So it was a good, very short, very quick read that I did enjoy. So we got, let me show you the item that was not wrapped. So we got this really cool erasable pen bookmark, which I didn't actually open up because I wanted to show you the actual packaging. So it actually has, so you can replace the ink, which is kind of cool, but it's a flat pen. You can see how flat it is. It's got a clip, so you can use it as a bookmark, but I have to say, I do love erasable pens. It's really great, especially if you are someone who likes to write notes in the margins. I don't do that these days because I'm not in school, but I think it's a really cool idea. I probably honestly wouldn't use it as a bookmark because I like my bookmarks to be super duper flat because I don't like the pages to get bent up or dented at all. But having a nice erasable pen is really cool. And I've never seen this sort of like 3-in-1 thing, but erasable pens are awesome. So it's a 0.5 millimeter fine point and it is in blue, which is kind of nice too, a little bit different. So I thought this pen bookmark was kind of a cool, also very bookish item as well. So guys, let me know what your favorite kinds of bookmarks are. I like a good traditional bookmark with a tassel, but you know, sometimes it's fun to have little bits and bobs like ticket stubs or just something, a receipt that means something to you, be something that you can discover later on when you come back to the book. That's something that I always like. So we did get 2 while you read gifts, which is kind of fun. And that's something that is in the regular quarterly boxes as well. She also included a nice little gift card, but you can get the same $5 off on the subscription if you use my code, like I said, mauinoel. So, and then there were 2 open when the last page has been read. So this is something, again, that is also usually in the quarterly boxes. You usually get 1 or 2 while you read. Usually it's like a treat or a drink gifts, and then you often get open when the last page has been read. But usually in the quarterly boxes, if you're thinking about getting this as a way to build your own library or a loved one's library, usually there's like, I would say like 3 gifts in there. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 4 that have to actually do with the pages, and she will tell you the pages. So that's always a really fun way of having the read be a little bit more engaging. All right, so let's go ahead and show you one of the while you read gifts, and she puts a lot of effort into the packaging. So this one was just more of like a summer enjoyable book box, not necessarily gifts that really went with the book, because I thought maybe we would get some like train themed things, but we didn't necessarily. So we got some delicious Oliver Pluff and Company fine raspberry iced tea, so a black tea sachet. I've gotten this company in other boxes before. It is fantastic, and I love the idea of a nice refreshing fruity iced tea while reading. I didn't get to enjoy it that way while I was reading, but like I said, it's something that I think goes really well in a summer box. We also got another while you read gift, and then maybe I'll go ahead and read like a little passage or something from the book since we didn't have any page numbers to go with. So this is kind of fun. It's, "Hello, I'm ugly. Upcycled white nectarines," which I've gotten stuff from this company as well. So it says, "The Ugly Company believes that ugly can be beautiful. That's why we've made it our mission to prevent food waste by upcycling locally sourced ugly fruit into delicious, healthy, dried fruit snacks with nothing added. Ugly fruit is thrown out because of the way it looks, but you should never judge a fruit by its cover." So yes, in the grocery stores, they know that you're not going to buy the bruised, ugly fruit, but that fruit can still taste delicious in dried form. So I love that idea of reducing waste for sure. All right, so let me just think about a good section so you can kind of understand the nature of these really sweet children. So we have Roberta or Bobby, and let's see, and then we have Peter, and then we have Phyllis or Phil. So they all kind of have like boy names because they go by like Bobby, Peter, and Phil. So let me see if I can find a little page that's fun to read. So it did come in chapters. This is the font on the pages. And it's kind of interesting because the author definitely has a voice and an opinion. I'm guessing it would be read in an audiobook, for example, with an English accent, but I won't do that to you. So it says, "I hope you don't mind my telling you a good deal about Roberta. The fact is, I am growing very fond of her. The more I observe her, the more I love her, and I notice all sorts of things about her that I like. For instance, she was quite oddly anxious to make other people happy, and she could keep a secret, a tolerably rare accomplishment. Also, she had the power of silent sympathy. That sounds rather dull, I know, but it's not so dull as it sounds. It just means that a person is able to know that you are unhappy and to love you extra on that account, without bothering you by telling you all the time how sorry she is for you. That's what Bobby was like. She knew that Mother was unhappy and that Mother had not told her the reason. So she just loved Mother more, never said a single word that could let Mother know how earnestly her little girl wondered what Mother was unhappy about. This needs practice. It's not so easy as you might think. So I just thought that was really sweet how the author kind of interjected in the story, and that is a really sweet sort of note about Bobby. So on one occasion, the kids, I just turned the page and remembered this section, this part of their adventure, they actually saved the train from running into what sounded like kind of a landslide. And they did it by kind of flagging down the train because they were kind of known for running around. Again, something you wouldn't necessarily encourage your children to do these days. But then the community wanted to, the station master wanted to thank them for their bravery, for their ingenuity. So they get this note that says, "Dear sir and ladies, it is proposed to make a small presentation to you in commemoration of your prompt and courageous action in warning the train on the instance and thus averting what must, humanly speaking, have been a terrible accident. The presentation will take place at the station at 3 o'clock on the 30th, if this time and place will be convenient to you. Yours faithfully, Jabez Englewood, Secretary, Great Northern and Southern Railway Code." So it says, there had never been a prouder moment in the lives of the three children. They rushed to Mother with the letter, and she also felt proud and said so, and this made the children happier than ever. So again, just such a sweet, sweet story. So it goes on, and they're very excited, and it says, "A presentation? That means presents," said Peter, as his sisters, having duly washed the pegs and wiped the line, hung up the dresses to dry. "Whatever will it be?" "It might be anything," said Phyllis. "What I've always wanted is a baby elephant, but I suppose they wouldn't know that." "Suppose it was gold models of steam engines," said Bobby. "Or a big model of the scene of the prevented accident," suggested Peter, "with a little model train and dolls dressed like us and the engine driver and firemen and passengers." "Do you like," said Bobby doubtfully, drying her hands on the rough towel that hung on a roller at the back of the scullery door, "do you like us being rewarded for saving a train?" "Yes, I do," said Peter downrightly, "and don't you try to come it over us that you don't like it too, because I know you do." "Yes," said Bobby doubtfully, "I know I do, but oughtn't we be to be satisfied with just having done it and not ask for anything more?" "Who did ask for anything more, silly?" said her brother. "Victoria Cross soldiers don't ask for it, but they're glad enough to get it all the same. Perhaps it'll be medals. Then, when I'm very old indeed, I shall show them to my grandchildren and say, 'We only did our duty,' and they'll be awfully proud of me." "You'll have to be married," warned Phyllis, "or you don't have any grandchildren." "I suppose I shall have to be married some day," said Peter, "but it will be an awful bother having her round all the time. I'd like to marry a lady who had trances and only woke up once or twice a year." "Just to say you were the light of her life and then to go to sleep again? Yes, that wouldn't be bad," said Bobby. "When I get married," said Phyllis, "I shall want him to want me to be awake all the time so I can hear him say how nice I am." "I think it would be very nice," said Bobby, "to marry someone very poor. Then you'd do all the work and he'd love you most frightfully and see the blue wood smoke curling up among the trees from the domestic hearth as he came home from work every night." So very romantic, very different time. Like that's what she dreams of, is doing work all day so that her husband can come home and say how dear he finds her. I'm like, okay, well, anyway, so they do write back and they say, "Thank you very much. We did not want to be rewarded, but only to save the train. But we are glad you think so, and thank you very much. The time and place you say will be quite convenient to us. Thank you very much. Your affectionate little friend." Then came the name, and after it, "P.S. Thank you very much." So they're just so earnest and so sweet. And like I said, it was a great story. And of course, it does have a happy ending, which is what I needed. It's absolutely what I needed. So it was a great little summer treat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last two open when the last page has been read gifts. So not sure what order they were supposed to be opened up in, but we do have these cute little bags. I really love this little floral burlap bag, of course. So, to go along with our summer theme, we got this After Sun blend from Woolsey's, which is a great essential oil company. So I wonder if it's sealed because I didn't open it up. So Woolsey's does great essential oils. They do all kinds of roller balls, but wow, this is really big. So it's a 1 fluid ounce and says it is 100% essential oil. So I'm not really sure what it is, but I guess that you can actually just put it on for After Sun. So it says they are cold pressed or steam distilled to retain all their vital essence. essence. We choose only the finest organic fruits, flowers, and leaves from the most distinguished global sources when carefully creating aromatic oils to improve your well-being. So it's actually made in India, and the company Woolsey's is out of New York, so I'm curious to know. So it says ylang ylang oil, geranium oil, peppermint oil, chamomile, and lavender. So some soothing oils in there. It says it can be used in numerous ways, whether inhaled with steam, diffused with heat, or diluted in one of our fine carrier oils, such as almond, castor, or jojoba, and applied to the skin. This unique oil's natural benefits will delight your senses. To learn more, simply review the bottle's label. So to apply to the skin, then you would want to have it with a carrier oil, but you could definitely use it for anything. It says it's a perfect blend of therapeutic essential oils after that long summer day, after diluting with the desired carrier oil. Its natural ingredients soothe occasional skin irritations and rejuvenates skin after a hot summer day. So you would have to use a carrier oil, and this is of course the continuing aroma eases the tensions of the day. So I do like a good after sun, but I'm wondering what the best oil would be. Probably jojoba oil. I actually have some of that, so I bet it smells really nice with those fragrances as well. So we got one of those, and then we also got our last open when the last page has been read. Is this hurrah? It says, hurrah, it's a tangerine chamomile, ooh, citrus and soothing chamomile sun lip balm, and it does have an SPF of 15 in it. So that is awesome. I've never heard of hurrah, but I love it, and that's kind of how I would imagine the kids would say something after they had done something fantastic in the book, is hurrah, or huzzah. So that's kind of cute. So just as a little review of the items that we got in this mini box from the Literary Book Club with The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit. Let me know in the comments below if you've read this tale before, or if it's been a really long time. So we got this fun erasable pen bookmark for to enjoy while we read. We got our Oliver Pluff raspberry tea to make some iced tea, and we got these ugly white nectarines. I love white nectarines. They're so delicious. I haven't had them dried, I don't think, before. Then we got this After Sun blend from Woolsey's, some essential oil that you can actually apply to your skin if you mix it with a carrier or just use to diffuse in your house and make it smell good. And we got this fun lip balm that also has an SPF of 15, which a little bit is always helpful, always a good idea when you go outside. So you probably want to use this before you use this. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, maybe a comment. Let me know, like I said, if you have read this book, or if you needed like a really good feel-good book. I read a lot of kind of serious things and thrillers and dark things, so sometimes, especially depending on what's going on in the world, it is really nice to escape into something a little bit more old-fashioned and sweet. So if you have any suggestions for that as well, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you again, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.